folks, and welcome to part 2. It may seem a bit funny because it kind of closed off part 1, but I kind of realised that I had missed a few things out, what I wanted to do, so apologies. This will be episode 50 of my New Zealand to the world, so it's pretty much of a bigger milestone. So today what we're going to do is, we are going to cover some little records that have popped up, but mainly we're going to go through the squad, not so much in depth. We're just going to cover the players who I think we're going to release or look to offload before we're going into obviously the off season now. And we're also going to just see how North Shore United did the first season without me, and if we've got time we may touch around some of the big leagues in the world, Premiership, Bundesliga, Serie A, and La Liga, and just see what the records are like there. So let's get into it. And as you can see straight on the screen here, Brown breaks goal scoring record. So Charlie Brown's 19 goals for the Phoenix this season is a new Phoenix record. Top goal scorer for a season was previously Jeremy Brockie for 16 goals in 2012. Now Jeremy Brockie, he's a bit of a legend here for New Zealand football. So yeah, really good effort, Mr. Brown, and more to come. Singh. So Sarpreet Singh, 8 assists is also a new Phoenix record, beating the previous one held by Scott Galloway with 7. So he tipped him up by 1. It's good to see that, Singh. And Brown sets the record for most Player of the Match awards. 5 Player of the Match awards received by Charlie Brown. It's another new Phoenix record. The previous record was held by Scott Galloway again with 4. So again, just edging out there. And Singh Sandhu, the goalkeeper, 9 clean sheets this season is a new record. And he broke his own record, actually. Previously, he had the record at 8. So some awesome little snippets there. And I'll probably try and put these in as we go through. So what we're going to do today, we're going to jump into the squad now. So like I said, we're not going to cover too many. We're just going to go, this is the main squad. We are going to just cover by position straight away. And click into here, basically. So we're going to go with the main goalkeeper, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. Now, if you do recall, and you may not, at the beginning of the season, when I did the first ever review, when we went through the squad, I actually thought this guy would be surplus. I didn't think too much of him. Obviously, he's changed my tune. He's still a really good keeper. And at 30, he's pretty much got a few good years to go in his prime years. So as a goalkeeper, he can push on a lot longer. So I'm looking for that. That is to push on, and I think he will. He's done a great season this year, as you can see with some of the records that he's set. Archie Mayer, now he has played some games for us this season, which is encouraging. He played 9 appearances starting, 1 from the bench with an average of 6.92. Not bad for a young goalkeeper. He's only 21. He's got a lot to learn. He did do some tutoring with Singh, and he came out better off for that. They both came out really cool. He's gone... he's doing some individual training now at the moment, but his command from area is going up. He's got some good stats there. And I think with some more game time, I actually do think he will push on. And especially at 21, goalkeepers, they take a lot longer to kind of progress. We go now into this one here, Marco Benito. Now, he is only a new signing. He's actually signed mainly as the reserves, and he is a reserves player. I just brought him on the bench because of the Galloway annoyance. But again, I will probably look at having him play some games, maybe off the bench and stuff. But he's in the squad, and I think he's worth a look. Definitely one to keep, and one to hopefully we can improve some of our facilities, and that will encourage and help the development of these players. And Daniel Munn finally did sign a new contract with us until 2023, so it was just a 1-year extension. But he took a bit of a pay cut as well. I think $1 or $2 grand. So that's pretty, $1 or $200, yeah. So 1.5 to 1.3. So I'm pretty happy with that at least. I think even though his pace is 10, it may drop again off the off season. I still think he's going to be worth it for us. He is in his prime years. He's at 32. Even if we can get another year out of him, I think he will be good. Whether he starts is going to depend a lot on fitness and also the next player we should touch on, which is Gabriella, when we get there. So Eugene, as I call him, because I can't pronounce that last name for the hell of it. Signed last year, obviously. Yeah, big unit. I think he helped us lead a lot towards our success. Definitely, especially as he got bedded in and settled in. 7.15 rating from 26 appearances. He scored 2 goals and had 4 assists as well. So, I can't really like I said, he did very well, and then even in the final series, he did a 7.5 rating. The stats look fantastic, and his natural fitness is really high, so I think a lot of those will maintain during the off season, and he'll push on. I mean, he's only 30, so he's probably got another 2 good years of him, I reckon. Now we go to James Simovic, injured for the majority of the first half of the season, and then did take a while to get in. Didn't really play many games. Actually, only played 1 start, 6 as a sub, 6.72. He's rated fairly up there as one of the best players as a defensive midfielder. I don't play that, but as a midfield centre, he's the 3rd choice. I could put him as a central midfield defender, but he doesn't have the marking, I don't think, for that at this stage. He is still only 20, so again, he's one that we will be looking, hopefully, to see some improvements from. And then Sean Galbraith, as you may have known when I said we signed him, where he got sold, to be honest, to Benfica, and I managed to get a loan back deal with him for a season. So he's probably due to be with us until about January of next year. Then if I can't extend it, then he will go back to Benfica. So he played a lot towards the back end of the season, mainly because I wanted his development to be there. Played 6 appearances, 12 off the bench for a 6.9, which is not bad. I mean, he's only 20. His stats aren't all there, but he's really good at decision making. His positioning is increased, and his determination is really good as well. Marking is shot up as 15, marking 15, tackling. If we can just push on and maybe work on that heading a bit and some of the jumping and that, I think he'll be all right. But he's only 5'11", so he's not going to be a big unit. But we've got Eugene and Jack Higg. Surplus to requirements, and I agree, he won't be re-signed. It expires at the end of this month. He's a right-left defender. I have and ahhed about offering him a season, just a one-off, another season, but he didn't play enough to warrant it, and as you can see, only 2 appearances in the regular season and 1 in the finals. So he's one that will be going. Scott Galloway, pain in the ass, I'm going to nickname him soon. He's still got a season left, so he's unhappy. I'm hoping he will come around because he's only 27, so he's still got some good years in him as a fullback. He's definitely the best we have. However, if I can find someone who's equal or better, I will probably look to offload him. It all depends as well if he can sort his shit out, really, and come fullback in line. He is wanted, I think it is by Newcastle, Melbourne City. So we will have to have a look and see if he stays or if he goes during the off-season. But again, I'd still like to keep him. He's got some decent stats there for the role. And I do find fullbacks are hard to come by. Jordan Thornley, he did sign a new contract till 2024. He's only 24 years old. His performances, from what I see, do better than his stats indicate. 26 appearances for 6.95. Not too bad, in my opinion. There's room for improvement, and you can see by some of those arrows, it is actually improving in certain areas as well. So we'll see how he goes this year, and hopefully he'll push on. I think he will. We will be looking for a lefty, though, just in case. Andrew Hall, plays primarily on the right of midfield. 16 appearances, 4 from the sub-bench, 7.05. He was out for a wee while with injury late on this season, which kind of did hinder him a bit. But overall, he's got some good physical stats there and good determination and flair, good vision and fantastic work rate, which will help. He's good at dribbling and first touch and as well as his passing. So it really works in that wing. I'm not sure if, he can play attacking midfield or right, but he's not very comfortable with it. I may look at just seeing if I can train him a bit more to get more familiarity with that position. Otherwise, we'll just see how he goes. He is mainly a midfielder right, though, and you would have seen that. And he's rated second under Armenicus, but Armenicus is we'll get to Armenicus when we get to Armenicus. Liam Rose here, a young kid, I say young, 25 years old. He's got 2 years left on his contract. preferred defensive midfielder, but again, he plays in the centre there. He's really kicked on this season, actually. Still can improve. 18 starts, 5 sub-appearances, 6.95. But from the 2 final series appearances, he did a 7.65. And so that's pretty indicative of what he can do. And to me, he does stand out there with a lot. I mean, he's got great acceleration, especially, and natural fitness, so that will help hopefully maintain those physicals. But again, he's got some really good work rate there, shows a bit of leadership and also anticipation. Fantastic marking and first touch, which helps. I can probably look at maybe working on his passing and his tackling as well. I think he'll slot in really nicely, but he has been a fairly regular player. If we go now to Clayton Lewis, I won't touch much on him because he was a new signing to us, so he's here till 2024. He's obviously only played the 2 starts in the final series for a 7.345, mainly as an advanced playmaker, and I have been quite in some matches impressed by some of the balls he's tried to play through and things, and I think he will increase and still improve on that. So yeah, you can look at the stats there. Good first touch, good passing, good technique. Really good work rate, teamwork's really high as well, and flair, but I guess for an advanced playmaker that kind of helps. But yeah, and some good physicals as well. And if we go to Robert Spencer, Peralta, got injured, which was a shame because he was starting to kick on and do quite well. He's only 23 years old, a first-team player, and could still improve from the coach's perspective. Rated the best of our central midfielders, and well, he was a starter. Mainly, again, he got his starts initially because of just a bit of a rotation through because of other injuries or even international call-ups from the original squad that I had envisioned. He was just going to be a secondary. But he has kicked on. 15 for decision makers, 16 determination, 14 flair, 17 for bravery, 14 vision, 15 work rate. Fantastic physicals as well. Probably needs to work on his strength, but even his technical abilities. His technique is bloody good. We can work on his passing and there's other things. I think he will really get the best out of him, but his potential is a 5-star according to my coaches. So I am excited about him. Deep line playmaker, yeah, that's where we've been pretty much playing him, I believe. But yeah, if it wasn't for those injuries, I think he would have kicked on a lot better. He 26 starts for 7.05. So you can't really complain about that. Even for his 1 appearance in the Cup, it was a 7 rating. So he's consistent, which is good. Now we go to Matt Higgins. Didn't really get a chance. Early on, he was kind of married up with Spencer a bit. And Rose, he was up in the preseason last year. I was kind of looking at him, but then he got injured, and then other things come through, and everybody else rotates through. Contract expires in 2023, so we've got another season with him. He's only 19, so there's good potential there. Look at his physicals; they're really a good rating there, with some obviously sliding down. But like I said, he has fairly recently come back from injury, and it looks like he has again been picked up a twisted ankle. So I might have to look into those for him. 9 appearances, 6.86, but he's only 19, so he is looking to improve. The 2 cup games he played, 8.4, so that was the sort of form that he could play. Came back from injury, like I said, and did find himself playing more for the reserves. But he is someone in the background there. As you can see over here, he's kind of midfield centre, probably the 3rd rated. Or 3rd or 4th rated, but again, youth is on the side, and he's a Kiwi as well. So it's good to see these New Zealanders in the team. Where are we? We are with Dario Vidicic. Now his contract expires at the end of the season. I am trying to. He just recently turned down an offer from, I believe, Newcastle or another club in the A-League. So I'm trying to get him to sign either a coach or a player coach role. He's 35 years old. I'm not really sure if I want to give him a playing contract because he did ask for a fair bit more money than I think he needs to. Mentally he's still got some good stats there. Determination especially stands out in his composure and his vision, and he can still do a bit of there in the technicals, but obviously his physical's on the decline. Only played 6 appearances. Starts 5 on the bench, mainly because 2 long-term injuries hurt him, as well. Then he got into some internationals, but then you can see from his appearances, he did a 7.35, so nothing to sneeze about in this league anyway. And he's a legend with the club. He's been with us for a heck of a long time, so if we just go and look at his career stats there, he's been with us, since 2017-18, and he's done a really good job for us. I'll just show you his staff attributes. Yeah, as a coach, nothing to laugh home about or write home about. Working with the youngsters is 12, but I think these oranges here could be improved upon. And I'm hoping that he may be someone who we can bring in up through as a player into some sort of a coaching role, have him improve in that, probably in the reserves as a coach, and hopefully, seeing on some qualifications, and these stats will improve and a bit of experience. Time will tell. But definitely staying, Dario, if I can help it. Chris Lee, a 19-year-old. Again, someone looked at the beginning of the season, because still has got room for improvement. But I'm struggling. I've been struggling this season to find a spot for him on the bench. Never mind on the starting lineup. And I think that's obvious when you look at his stats. He only started 3 substitute appearances. Still did fairly well, 7.3, but you can't really gauge much by that. He may be put out on loan or surplus to requirements, and I might see if I can cash in. It all depends. We'll have to see how he kicks on and goes forward. If we look at Nick Epifano, who is leaving us, he's already agreed a contract, so he'll be leaving us to the Newcastle Jets at the end of July, which is a shame. He was just one of those. They just snuck in and able to sign a contract with him. His stats don't really indicate the job he has been able to do for us at times. 7.24, only from 3 appearances, fair enough, and 6 off the bench. But in those appearances, he's looked fairly good. Mainly he's played when we were doing the booed Manchester Central V3, when he was right up there on the attack. I would have liked to have had another season with him, but I think when we look at his stats and they may decrease, I think we're probably okay with him leaving. We will find out. And trouble is the left side of my team, especially on the midfielders, where I need to really improve. And even to an extent, my wingers are the areas that I'm looking to cash in on and try and improve on. And Amanicus is going to be a big issue with this, because he's only on loan to us, and yet we haven't been able to. Excuse me, just had a drink of water. Too much jibber jabber. We haven't been able to yet extend the loan, and I'm hoping that we can extend the loan. But I'm going to have to plan. I am planning. I have been for a couple of months now, on scouting and trying to get an attacking midfielder right left. You may remember Cangrid from North Shore United. He's one I've been scouting quite a fair bit. The fee is a high fee that they're asking for him for Auckland City. He could potentially be on the radar. I am still hoping, and I will try and get Armenicus on loan. To buy him, it's just going to be stupid money. And the efforts have resulted in basically no, And he's only 23, so there's a lot of improvement. And as you would have noticed, he's picked up a fair bit of the, awards for the team for last season. 25 appearances for 7.3, 10 goals, 5 assists, 3 player of the match awards. That says it all really right there, how important he has been to us, and I feel will be for us again this season. Let's just hope it works out and we can keep him. Now, if we go to Sarpreet Singh, I did obviously bring him back because he was taken away to, where did he go to? From Wellington Olympic. We managed to get him back for about 10k. So he's with us and for another season. I will be looking at renewing that. I brought him back originally to go in that left role, but due to injuries, internationals, he ended up well, we played around as I have discussed, and he slotted into that false 9 position up here. And it seemed a shadow striker, sorry, not a false 9. It seemed to work quite well. And I mean, 20 appearances, a majority of those will be in that shadow striker role. It's 5 goals, 8 assists, 7.15 average rating. So he's capable of doing it. He's only 23, so he's got youth on the side and he can still improve. Again, he'd be one we want to watch for. His determination is fantastic. So based on that alone, I think we can get some improvements out of him. It's just a matter of where we improve and how we improve these things. We are training him as the false 9 shadow striker anyway, as additionally focusing on finishing and getting forward whenever possible. So he hasn't complained yet about the amount of workload. So in the pre-season we'll probably drop the finishing anyway, because it'll be all fitness based. Charlie Brown, what do we say about Charlie Brown? Whoo, doggy. The guy who wasn't even considered first, second, or even third choice, maybe fourth, if we needed him. I had a plan of this guy being in the reserves. And initially, that's where we started. A couple of games on the bench. Injuries came along, Vidicic mainly, lack of form, internationals, and he slotted in. Did the job. Again, did the job. Stayed. He earned the right to start. And he started 22 times for us. 19 goals, 3 assists, 7.29. Dropped off a little bit in the final series with only a 6.35 from 2 appearances, no goals or assists. So he probably, I would say it's mainly because of the other teams marking him out of the game. But he's only 22, and I think he's got a lot to improve on. We do need to, I think, get him tutored with somebody. I may look at Vidicic as a tutor if we can keep Vidicic. You may look at their stats and go, where's it come from? It's one of those players. You look at the stats and the stats don't really marry up, but what happens, it happens, and he scores and does fantastic. Does a lot better than the stats indicate he should. I mean, I'm looking at those stats now and just thinking, where did it come from? I mean, only 12 for finishing and 14 pace. Was that enough? At times, probably was. But he's certainly improved. Now, this season, can he kick on and improve further? Hopefully he can. We then go to Roy Krishna, who is surplus to requirements. He is thankfully wanted by our feeder, okay? Whether he'd go, I don't know. He's got a season left on his contract. I have put him on the market, and I have indicated he is surplus to requirements, no longer needed. And in the reserves, pretty much, yeah. He just hasn't done the job when given the opportunities. Early on, it looked encouraging, but that just died fast. 11 appearances for 6.68. 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 penalty. That's it. I'm disappointed. I'm actually a little bit hurt as a real Phoenix fan. This is Roy Krishna. Oh, just lights up the field, just races down the flanks. I've been playing him as a striker, but maybe I need to look at him as a winger. But I just don't. Those stats are dropping. I don't see it. So it is regretfully, but he needs to go because it will also free up that spot for foreign-based players. Hanmal, another one like Brown, didn't really figure in the plans. Would have going to be in the reserves, called up if needed to be. Kicked on well, actually. 5 appearances, so 5 starts, 12 on the bench. Total 7.1, 5 goals, 4 assists. Played mainly as target man, a few times as poacher, his preferred as poacher. We are training him, I believe, as a target man. Reason I think is 6'6". Jumping Rex is 14. I don't know why his heading's not higher. We need to work on that. But jeepers creepers, mate. 6'6". He's a beast, and you can see on the graphics he's huge. So that's where he's going. We may figure with him as Brown's partner going forward. We may rotate with Singh with that shadow striker role, becoming a target man role in some games. We'll play around with it in the preseason a little bit as well. It will give us, I guess, a secondary option. But I'm happy with how he developed. And again, this guy's only 19 years old, so I'm excited about the prospect for this guy's future. And that is pretty much it. I'm not going to cover the reserve players and things like that. There was one or two guys in there young guys who may make an appearance. I'll just cover them if I do. That is all for the squad, guys. Tell me your thoughts down below. What are you thinking? Does it make sense what I've said? We will come back in the previous season and we'll show you any ins and outs, but that is the slick squad. There are areas, like I said, I need to look at. I think we've got a good core. I think a lot of youth there, which will hopefully kick on this season, especially in that central midfield role. My concerns, as mentioned, are the flanks for the wingers, and also I'm looking at the fullback role. But that's it for the team here. We haven't flicked over again, so I'm not going to cover the updates for the team or the my profile. I'll cover those in the review. Let's just have a quick nosy, shall we, Rosie, at North Shore United. Now, I know of a couple of changes here that's happened to them. So when I left, Mick Waite took over as manager. He was sacked about halfway through the season. He has been replaced by Rory Fallon. Now, he still is interim manager, so they haven't really named a permanent manager yet. So it's going to see how we'll see how they went. They ended up finishing third in the Premier Division. So, I mean, Rory really scraped them up, because when Mick Waite got sacked, they were hovering around ninth. So he pushed them on to a respectable third position. So that's good to see. Yeah. I mean, even some of their players, like Ryan Kane, is still there. He's equal second for goals. Okay, pretty good. Lopez still there, highest average rating. Lopez again, highest assists. Clean sheets, O'Keefe is still there on 7 clean sheets, and Lopez again, player of the matches of 8. So, there's encouragement there. Yeah. So, and how did they go in the Chatham Cup? So we didn't retain the title, obviously. Let's have a look at there. I'm just trying to find how they went in the. Okay. So in the Chatham Cup, they haven't played it yet. They should have played last season. Okay, so I left here around after Forest Hill. So they went to No Warrior. They beat them 3-0 to advance into the third round, where they lost on penalties to Bay Olympic. So disappointing. This season coming, actually very soon, they will be playing East Coast Bays in the last game of the season, and then the Chatham Cup second round to be determined. So East Coast Bays, if we go back to that premiership, so they haven't actually finished their season yet. They've got one game to play. Okay, so they could potentially. No, I think third's their spot. They need a win to keep that, really, because of the goal differential against Hamilton. Not too bad, though. Mighty North Shore United, Rory Fallon done a good job to keep them up there. Look, we've gone out of time, so I'm not going to cover all the other leagues like the Premiership and that. We just won't. I don't think we'll have the time. I am just going to cover the New Zealand Premiership quickly, and we have briefly touched on this, but so we won't make a hoo-ha. So again, the Phoenix finished 6th, but overall Auckland City again champions with those playoffs there. This went in obviously to the semi-finals, where Auckland City beat Eastern Suburbs. Hamilton beat Tasman, and in the final, Auckland City beat Hamilton Wanderers 4-0, and in the qualification there, Auckland City Tasman. So that is pretty much that, folks. We will cover my profile and any other issues and changes with the club when I get back for the pre-season and transfer update. This will be Friday's episode. Like I mentioned at the end of things, the plan is I'm not gonna be able to at this stage put any episodes out, but I have managed to free up a little bit of space in the weekend, so I'm hoping I can get ahead and at least pre-record 2 videos for the Phoenix. I might just do a season review and split it into 2 like this, so I can kind of get 2 episodes out of it. Guys, I really appreciate your time here. Hope you've enjoyed this. I know it was like a second review sort of thing, so next season I won't do the regular season review. I think I'll just wait until we get knocked out or we win the title again. Let me know your thoughts down below. How have you enjoyed this series? Any highlights, any lowlights? Having a look at the squad we've just had there. How do you think we're going to be, placed for next season? And do you agree with my assessment? Maybe or do you think of other players and positions that we may need improving on that I haven't quite looked at or seen yet? All right, folks, I am Parkera. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. If you are subscribed, hit that notification bell. And as always, comment down below. Thanks, guys. I'm Parkera. Kia kaha. Over and out.